Hey guys, my name is Ben Wright, and I'm going to be your in-class scientist. So when I'm not in your classroom, I'm at a NMSU working on my PhD in computer science, which when you do your PhD, that's after your bachelor's, which is what you usually go to college for those initial 4 years. Um, Even though I'm here in New Mexico, though, I actually came here to study, and from the Midwest, I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. But right now I'm working on my PhD. So what am I what am I actually researching? Well, my research is an area called artificial intelligence, which you guys might know of, and it's really cool. And it kind of goes down to the question of uh, trying to figure out how to get computers to do more stuff, so I don't have to do it. And that's why I like it, because I can get the computer to do more of the stuff that I do rather than they can. When I finish my PhD, I'm going to try and stay in university and become a college professor somewhere. Um, One of the really cool things in my research, though, is dealing stuff with social networks, which you might have heard they're similar to Facebook. And so you could start looking at things of like how are you connected to your friends, how are your friends connected to you, and you can ask some really cool questions about that. And hopefully, I get to show you some of that over the year and the semester. And real quick, with a experiment, I might show you, or something really cool to look at with social networks. So, if you have any questions about anything, just feel free to ask me or email me anytime. Okay, so here's something cool you can do with social networks, which are just like um, how you can think about Facebook. Facebook is a version of a social network. And what social networks do is they can sort of represent graphically connections between friends. For instance, here we have Bill and Matt, and this line between them sort of shows that they're friends. And then we can sort of take a whole bunch of people and look at friends and then friends of friends. And if we look at that, we can see like this here we have is a small social network where like Stacy is friends with Dan, Joe, and Karen, but not Kim, because there's no line between Stacy and Kim. So right now you might be a little confused because we're not. This is just a graphic of something we already know. We know who our friends are. But while Stacy might know that she's friends with these three people, there's no guarantee she even knows who Beth is, since it's so far removed from her right now. Because each line is sort of like a degree of separation, if you guys know what 6 degrees of separation is. But when we have a representation like this, we can look and start asking questions that are pretty cool, such as gossip. Gossip is something that's really cool and, spreads from person to person, generally, a friend. So let's say that Dan here at the top did something to Stacy and Stacy didn't like it and she wants to spread a rumor about Dan. How can Stacy spread a rumor about Dan without Dan finding out? So if we look at Stacy's friends, which is Dan, Joe, and Karen, if she tells some of them, they will go and tell Dan. However, if we tell Karen here, if Stacy tells Karen the rumor about Dan, then Dan doesn't know. But there's the potential for everyone else to know. So if we sort of go through that, we see, and we follow the arrows along the lines, we see that when Karen knows, she will start to tell Kim and Ryan, because those are her friends. Where red here now is that they know the rumor Stacy started about Dan. So Kim here and Ryan here now know the rumor from Karen, who knows it from Stacy, following these lines. And then we can sort of follow the lines out, between who doesn't know the rumor and who don't know the rumor already. So Kim will tell Joe and Ryan will tell Beth, right? And so then all that's left is Dan is the only one now who doesn't know the rumor about him. And so Stacy succeeded in starting a rumor that Dan was the last to know about because of the social network and how she knew about the social network, which was telling Karen first while unsure that Dan is the last to know about the rumor. And so this is just a cool, quick little example about why social networks are cool and what you can do with them when you look at them from a visual standpoint. You don't have to worry about writing stuff out or keeping it all in your head. Just write it down, jot down some lines, and you're good to go. I hope if you have any questions or want to ask me something different about this, feel free to ask me anytime this semester or send me an email. Thanks.